All right, I'm gonna do a quick landscape tutorial only using my pencil and of course an eraser. And we're going to cover the whole page with graphite. So here you see here, we're gonna just go ahead and slowly start to cover the whole paper with a soft shading of graphite. So this is going to be our background here. And then of course, after we get the whole paper shaded in, and I'm slanting my pencil to do this, we're going to get a horizon line in here as well. You got to make sure you have your horizon line. That's going to come across. Horizon line is where the sky meets the land. So we're going to get our background in here. Soft covering of this graphite. And really what I can do is use like a soft sheet of paper to just spread the graphite around on the paper. So I have a little soft sheet of paper here, and I'm just going to spread or smooth out some of this shading. Now my cloth isn't moving the ink around that well, my paper. So I'm going to get a little napkin to really just spread out the graphite. So you can see here now how there's a soft gray here. Let me get this in here. There's something on the table keeping my piece from working nicely here. But all right, I'm gonna slowly shade in all the way at the back. All of my background. And of course I'm trying to shade directionally to get a smoother look on the background. So I'm going left to right in a horizontal motion to make sure that all of my coloring is left to right. And in areas where it's diagonal, I can go back in and smooth this out. So now I have a smooth background. You can even see how there's a line here where I smoothed out the graphite to get this nice background. Usually artists will have like a paper stub or a pencil stub, and it's really just made all out of paper. It's a piece of paper rolled up to look like a pencil, and it just smooths out all of your graphite. For people who are even doing like charcoal designs, they'll just have a little bit of charcoal, and then they'll do the charcoal designs. But okay, so I have a background of just soft gray here. And what I'm going to do is then now bring in these pieces of the design. Also, I want to go ahead and erase to have in a moon here. Because this is like a nighttime scene where people are sitting out on the water in this landscape. So I'm going to erase this circle here. Of course, in art, we use basic simplistic designs, which is a circle here. This is a simple form of a circle to create more complex designs. And then I'm going to put in my horizon line right across here. Just a straight line across. I'm going to darken in right over here, softly. And then I'm going to come across here and darken this in softly. So like the water is just sitting here gently. Then I'm going to add a house, which is going to start off, the roof is going to be a diagonal line just like this. Come across here. It looks like we're running out of paper, because my paper ends right here. And I want to get a tree here and then another house. So I'm going to erase, go back in and add in my graphite over that area. It just smooths out so nicely to just give me a new slate. So let me add the tree first, so then we can add in the houses. We'll add the houses in a minute. So the tree goes all the way up here. Has a branch that extends out. And then there's a lot of leaves that are directional leaves. Just like so. Comes out here. So left to right, diagonally for your leaves. So simple lines just create your leaves of the tree. And then the front of the tree here has a branch that extends out. And then another one that extends up here. We're even going to create some, like almost like bushes at the bottom of the tree. But they're really not bushes. They're just peaks of grass that have started to grow. At the bottom, at the base of the tree. And then we're going to shade in our darkest areas at the back of the tree here. And then we're going to put a reflection at the front of the tree, where the light of the moon is lighting up the front of the tree. And then right over here at the base, it's going to be a reflection here as well. The base of the branch. So there's a reflection here where there's the whitest area. And then there's also a reflection here in the front of the tree. Just like that. And then over here is going to be dark. And this branch goes off and it's dark in the background. And then this branch here is dark. Now this is going to split off into two branches. But all of the leaves are going to be connected. Yeah, this is two branches here. And these are dark at the split. And there's a little light. This is going to highlight these little areas right here. And go down. And the tree, the leaves are here at the edge of the tree. And all of this here, we have our zigzag lines out here. And I'm going to fill this in. I'm going to move the graphite around to do that. Wow, this filled in nicely. And this filled in as well. I'm just going to have the darker highlights. Right here. So we have a background where the moon is in the background. We have things that are coming off into the foreground. And then we're going to work on our midground once we finish this tree here. It's also going to be in the midground as well. All right, all of this is here. And this is an inside where you can look through the tree to see the background that we created at the beginning of the piece. So I just went ahead and added all of that in. We still have our background here with the soft gray. We have our moon. We have our horizon line here. And now we can add in our houses. So here's a house here. Diagonal line again. The house sits above the horizon line. The roof of it does. Here, another diagonal line. So we're kind of creating here a trapezoid. I'm going to connect those two lines here. So we're going to have a 3D experience. Now the base of the house here comes down. And then this comes down right here. And then this goes back off into the distance. And this line goes up diagonally. And then now another house is going to sit right in here. Another house is going to sit here. So we're going to come again with our top of the roof, diagonal line down. This is a horizontal line, diagonal line, and then the roof is going to connect. And this house sits below the horizon line. Here, we have more vertical lines. And there we go. So let me darken. You know, this house is supposed to actually sit right where these meet. This line meets here. There's a window here. It's a little wider than our background. And then we're going to fix this line here. It's going to be short. Put our graphite back in. Smooth that right out. And here's the front of the house. Diagonal lines. Front of house. It's here. Another window. And this backside, all of these backsides are going to be kind of dark. White windows with our eraser. Just like so. And then some land is going to sit to hold those pieces of houses. And here we go. Some grass. So this is, the land comes down. Wavy lines here. Here we go. And here we go. Dark. And the edge of the land is going to be kind of dark here. We can even add a little lighter area right in here. Contrast is what gives us great designs. Contrast is perfect. So you have the contrast of the darker edge of the land with the lighter areas of the land. Then you still have some grays here. And then we have our darker area right here. We're going to just add in a little bit of darkening here. White windows. And let's get a little bit of texture on the front of the house. I think we need to have some texture here on the front of the house. So texture is us just going ahead and adding these lines, because the front of the house here still has the texture of the background that we created. So let's add in some variations of grays, just like this here in the front. And now that's like the texture of the house, almost as if the house had shutters. Well, not even shutters, but siding or wood siding here. And then we can add in this also as well to the top of the house here, because roofs have shingles. And this is really dark too here. Texture is important in art. It allows us to know depth, and it also allows us to perceive movement. Texture also allows us to know what things would feel like just based off of looking at the designs or the patterns that are created via texture. So texture involves patterns. It involves movement. And that's what we're creating here with the house. So we can see directionally, if it were raining, where would the rain fall? Rain falls from the sky up here, and then it falls down off the roof of the house. Here we could add a little boat where people are sitting out in the water in the distance. So they're sitting here in their little boat, almost like they're sailing. Let's put up a sail. Let's put up 2 sails. Because maybe this is an island and people just, you know, sail off into the sunset with their relatives. Or maybe they're sitting out in the water fishing. We can use our imagination as we create our designs. That's the beauty of art, your imagination and using that. There's a reflection also of them here on the water. This is a reflection of what we see. And so the reflection creates a mirror image onto the water of the boat. And then let's darken in the sails. Let me add a sail here. And then let's go ahead and darken it in on the corners there. And let's put a little bit of a reflection here. Or let's get the idea of cloth-like texture. We had our roof texture. Now we're going to get cloth texture here, because the sail is made out of cloth. And let's put some people in our boat. After we darken in the boat, let's put some people in the boat. So the people, we're going to do a circle. Head, here's a circle. And this is just like a impression of people. It's not a perfect reflection of what it would be to have the people in the boat. Because remember, they're off in the distance. So there's one person there, and it's dark outside. We have our moon. So we're not going to see perfection in the people. We're just going to see their silhouettes. There's a lady here with hair. And then her body just comes down as she's sitting in the boat, the back reflection of her. Her arms come across her legs here. And then there's her body. And her hair hangs down like so. So now we have our design of a landscape that is only done using pencil. Just like that. If you wanted to add like some reflections coming off the water of the moon, and it just lights around the people here, we can use our eraser to add in whites. Erase some of that graphite and then just guide the water, come right through our reflection here. And it's just going to go down off here. So now we have our white areas. Just going to shake off those eraser trimmings. And now, here's your landscape of a sunset, done with only a pencil using various shades of gray, just like so. Let's put some white here in the windows. Contrast is our friend. Remember, remember, remember. Contrast. We missed this roof. Reflection here. Look at that. Wow, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial of how to draw your landscape with only using a pencil. So now you can create, just like I have done. And here you go. Your sails, your people in the boat, reflections off into the water and in the distance. You have your reflection here. You have your water. You even have the land. You have a tree. Remember, background, foreground, midground. The tree is closer to us in the foreground. Then we have our midground here off into the distance. So your eye is led when you first look at this from the whitest area here, and then it's led, the eye is led down here or into this area right over here, where the eye is being led based upon the contrast and the light. So you have your positive space, the space that is used. You have your negative space. We have texture. We have line in the simplistic form, creating larger designs as well. And you have a whole piece of artwork based off one pencil, one eraser. Enjoy. Happy drawing.